Antoine, Clara, Grace, Geng, wonderful to have you here. Karen, Maria, also, and Pam and Robert. If you could just mention the industry that you're in, because it allows us to actually tailor some of the great information that we have and the value that we have here to present to you today. Maria's a keynote speaker. She works also in the area of education. Great to have you chat there. But anyone else, please do pop in the chat box, as we're really looking to tailor this excellent information for you today. Welcome, Antoine, Grace, and Pam. As I mentioned before, we're just waiting for a few to arrive. Well, our official kickoff's at 5 o'clock. We're looking forward to sharing with you lots of value today. Hi, Robert. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you on board as well. Nayyar, you've managed it. Hi, Nayyar. Fantastic. Our first speaker. Wonderful, Nayyar. Look, great to have you here. Sum & Substance Accounting, virtual management accountant, and virtual CFO. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Yeah, very well.
Yeah, great to see the attendees too.
Absolutely. It's great to see some people already early here. We're looking forward to getting started. And Hemi Hossain as well. Good to have you here too, Hemi. Looking forward to sharing some stories of growth with Grow with Hemi. So yeah, we've got three great, wonderful speakers here today, all experts in their field. And one of the most important parts of today's session, once we just wait for a few more attendees to arrive, is really discussing navigating pathways of from uncertainty to growth. And it's great that we can actually embrace all the tools that are available to us here in the digital world. In fact, we're here to give a lot of information of what business owners can do, what small to medium enterprises can do in what is a very rapidly changing world. And that's where Nayyar's going to be our first speaker today, and she's going to kick off with actually some really, really important information that is available to every small to medium business owner. As a qualified managing accountant, she has her phones have been running hot in the last few weeks as they seek to get this vital information about the government stimulus package. As each of our speakers speak today, we'll actually be offering, we've got an offering for everyone on the call today. And really, one of the reasons that we've all collaborated together is that we really believe in providing the utmost of value to our current clients. And one of the best things that we believe in this, trying times for all small business owners is to actually offer our time. And that's really the only other thing that we want to give to you today, or gift to you today. It's a gift of our time and your time as well. So therefore, what we're going to actually do is offer a complimentary appointment online using Zoom, and though we'll be actually sending out Calendy invites. So therefore, what we'll be actually delivering is a Calendy invite where if you're seeking a question about the government stimulus packages, for instance, you can make a time with Nayyar, a 30-minute complimentary consultation online. Sometime this week, we'll be posting her calendar invite after her information today. Likewise with Hemi, if you're interested in digital marketing and way you can actually generate leads online, you can actually spend 30 minutes with Hemi as well. And that link will be coming to you shortly. And also with myself, just a little note about myself. I'm a commercial and intellectual property lawyer. I have been working in the gig economy for over 10 years. I proudly use the tools that are available to us. And while I often help business owners protect their most valuable assets, which is their ideas, one of the things that I'm also, as a commercial lawyer, is I'm going to be speaking today about frustration and legal contracts, just so you as a business owner understand how, while we're in these changing times, avenues available to negotiate around your agreements and create win-win scenarios, and also in terms of employment. The government's released some great information and great support with the JobKeeper payments, but also an understanding of employment contracts versus independent contracts and even casual employee entitlements. All of these things, we're looking to give you some empowerment here today. So I'm going to kick off just with, as we've got quite a few people online now, it's great to see that we've got people from architecture and also some learned friends as well, practitioners. What we are going to do is actually kick off the discussion, or the three speakers today, with actually just a little bit of a conversation around growth. Now, Hemi, I'm just going to share a screen here in a moment, so just please let me know if this works. But sharing, basically, we wanted to canvas today's discussion about pathways for at least 5 different avenues, 5 different pathways small to medium business owners can take and actually gain vital assistance, which is available to them right now. We're then going to hear from Hemi Hossain, who is a #1 international best-selling author and also a owner of a few businesses, an entrepreneur in his own right, and also a digital marketing expert. You would have received a lot of the emails that in these past few days from Hemi. Hemi is a growth digital expert. He speaks about digital entrepreneurship, and he's also very passionate about this subject, about how people can use these tools available to us all to actually generate new leads for new growth. Fantastic. Okay, so what we're here to discuss is about pathways to growth. Now, everyone may or may not be aware of what a growth mindset means. Now, basically, this is well documented, but basically there's 2 perspectives of thought, and that is to have a fixed mindset is something that can often limit our thinking. People with fixed mindsets tend to see challenges as problems and can often not see their pathway through the trees, so to speak. Those that have a fixed mindset can often find themselves in a frustrating situation because when the goalposts change, they often can't see the wood from the trees. And that's why we really wanted to do, just begin today with a discussion about growth mindset and the 3 things that you can do as a business owner to put yourself in a positive growth mindset despite the changing times that we are all facing and that we're all encountering. So I'm just going to kick it off, and we'll get into introducing our 2 other experts as well. But basically what we're here to talk about is fixed versus growth mindset. Okay, let's explore what this means, what a growth mindset means. Basically, those that have a limited mindset, one that is fixed, they often don't try. They easily see obstacles as threats, and they can avoid the challenges even when great opportunities are presented in front of them. While conversely, those that choose to grow and those that choose to put in effort to keep going and embrace challenges can really make the most of these trying times and actually see these problems as possibilities. So just to kick off today's discussion, I'm actually going to start with 3 rules for a growth mindset. The first one is to confront the challenge. We are all faced by these incredibly challenging times. However, what we can all do is actually not run from these problems, but indeed confront the challenges that they pose. Never before have we had so many tools available to us before. This is not only through the digital world, through Zoom, through Skype, through digital connection, but also, remarkably, we also have never seen so much support for small business owners that has been delivered through billions of dollars of stimulus that is now accessible to you. And this is not just at a government level, it's also at a local level as well, because the Victorian State Government has also offered a number of incentives that Hemi will also talk about in conjunction with Naya today. So the first one is to confront the challenge, to actually see the problems in front of you and confront them. And the second, with a growth mindset, is to see that problem as a remarkable opportunity. There's no doubt your competitors are just in the same position as you are now. However, the seeds that we're planting today is to actually commit to a pathway of growth, to actually see this remarkable time as trying, however, a pathway to growth. However, because the latest information is that while we might be entrenched in these and navigating these pathways for the next few months, by adopting a growth mindset, by limiting your media consumption and really setting your best foot forward in these changing and challenging times. On that note, I'd like to introduce to you now a virtual CFO and managing accountant. She runs a bookkeeper and accounting practice called Sum and Substance. She's very well versed in using the digital tools available as a virtual CFO. And Neha Nayyar is now going to introduce to you some of the pathways of growth accessible to you through the government stimulus packages. Neha, over to you.
Thanks, Gareth. Really appreciate the kind introduction and the welcome you've given through. I just wanted to, before I get started, I would like to confirm you can see my slides okay? Awesome. Great. Welcome all the attendees. Thank you very much for spending with us your Sunday evening, which is great, and hope you all are having a warm, safe and positive evening. What this webinar, what our objective through this webinar also is to activate all those energies that you have and to make this uncertain period, convert that into more opportunities and stay calm and stay positive. The government is doing its bit in helping us make that happen. So let's go through it without spending any more time on just myself. Let's get into the real deal. Again, one more thing I want to mention before I get started on accessing stimulus package is please consider this advice as guideline, more as a guideline, not as a professional advice, because we all have different businesses. Every business has a different business structure. They have different business liabilities and they have different employment structure. So for your specific situation, talk to a professional and they will guide you through to what is best for your situation. Beautiful, let's get on to it now. Very exciting. Cool, so first of all is the boosting cash flow for employers. Employers actually build the economy by providing employment to a lot of Australians here. So what government has done is to assist and to help the employers. They're giving back the tax that you withhold from the wages from January to March, and they'll keep doing it until September 2020. They're giving back the tax withheld upon lodgement of BASes. So that gives us a lesson that our bookkeeping needs to be intact, our BASes needs to be lodged in time. So never before I've had so much of rush of getting March BASes done in time, which is amazing. We've already almost done half of them today. Because as soon as you lodge the BAS, you get that money back in 14 days. So that it comes as a credit to your integrated client account. So the minimum payment you get is $10,000 by April. The maximum payment that you can get is $50K. You get another stimulus package in July, but the maximum benefit you get is up to $100,000 and the least you get is $20,000. Again, if you've got any specific questions, please book a time. The next assistance that government is giving is support for apprentices and trainees. I'm going to put a link on our chat box here. What you can do is if you do, sorry, I'm just trying to do this. I'll put that later after I'm finished with this. I'll put the link in the chat box and in the emails to you all, where you can actually apply for assistance towards employing apprentice. So you actually get 50% of the wages back for your apprentices. That is for the period of 1st of January 2020 through to 30th September 2020. The applications are now available. All you need to do is you need to send them some sort of proof of what you've paid for the quarter of March, and going forward the other 2 quarters. You send them the pay slips, you send them the employee summary, and you get 50% of it back, which is great encouragement to a lot of people or employers to actually keep their apprentices employed. I've had lots of landscapers who were thinking of reducing it or cutting it down, and they are actually keeping their apprentices on because they're getting that help. We are all small businesses. We get attached to our employees. We don't want to let them go. JobKeeper Payment, that has become a game changer. That is the best package, which has actually helped a lot of employers to actually bring them all the employees that they stood down because of coronavirus situation. So under JobKeeper Payment, sole trader, if they can prove that their business has got affected by coronavirus and their turnover has gone down by 30% or more, they can apply for that payment. So the payment they can get is $1,500 up to $1,500 per fortnight. Moving on, so with other employers as well. So I'm just going to move on to the next slide, which is a table. So any employer who actually had to stood down their employees, they can actually re-employ them, and they can get the $1,500 per employee payment, and they can pass that on to the employees. So that's a great benefit. Employees, sorry, I've actually started from the last one. I'll just go to the middle one now. So employees who earn less than $1,500. So there's no subsidy, no extra benefit to the employers, but that, say for example, if the employee's earning was $1,100 per fortnight, they still get $1,500, but $400 is then topped up by the employer. For someone who was earning more than $1,500, say $1,800, they get the entire $1,800. $1,500 is given to them by the government. So that sort of subsidy is available for business who are really getting affected by the coronavirus. So that has been super positive. State government in almost every state in Australia at the moment is trying their best to help employers as well. I'm just going to talk more sort of from Victoria and New South Wales point of view. If there are attendees who want to find out and who are from other states, please feel free to contact myself. So with Victoria, what they've done is they've actually waived off payroll tax for the full financial year of FY 19-20. What it means is if employers have paid payroll tax, because we normally pay them that monthly, you actually get all of that money back. So I've obviously seen that happen. We've applied for it and the money has actually come back into the bank accounts of the employers, which is amazing. And for the next financial year, for the first quarter, which is your July to September 20, you can defer the payment, which is amazing. So go Victoria. New South Wales have done something different, but of course, again, every state government is trying to help. What they've done is when the business owners or employers do the annual reconciliation, which probably your accountants or bookkeepers are doing for you, they get 25% discount at that time. For when they lodge their March, April and May payroll tax, they don't have to pay the payroll tax. And for the next financial year, tax-free threshold has been increased from $900,000 to $1 million. So for other states, please contact with me. The other benefit obviously is if you look at all the stimulus packages and if you still need assistance, more assistance for your working capital or for whatever reason to keep your business running, there are loans available for business owners which are unsecured. Again, there is obviously a bit of eligibility criteria, but it's quite straightforward the way government has spoken with these banks and stuff. The loan is up to 3 years and there is initial 6 months. You don't have to repay anything. Again, there is a lot of information available. If you need more information on that, please get in touch. Now, while the government is pumping all that money, it obviously wants you to invest it either in your employees or in assets. So what they've also done is if you get an asset which is $150,000, you actually get the instant tax write-off. Again, with anything like this, look at your cash flow and talk to your accountant before you make that decision. Cool. I would now like to summarize this in how we all need to, as business owners, I've got a business, we all have businesses here, how we should plan this uncertain period towards growth. So we obviously at the moment and any time cash is king. But at the moment, of course, there's a little bit of uncertainty, little bit of fear in the market, but we need to stay strong. We need to stay positive. So the best way to stay strong in your cash is do cash flow forecasting. Just put together a spreadsheet or write down somewhere how much money do you expect to for next 3 to 6 months or even 9 months to come in, how much cash you expect to go out. If it's deficit, see whether you got that covered with the stimulus packages. If that's not enough, whether you need some loan, but do some planning to, you will not fail if you plan it properly. Again, with cash flow forecasting, we can assist you with that. It's just super important at this time. I've done it for myself as well. Again, non-essential expenses, having your bookkeeping right, the benefit of that is you can actually analyze what all subscriptions do you pay for? Do you really need those? If there's something that you can see that can be, that can be written off, you can actually get that away and bring that subscription back in once things are improved. See how much minimum cash is required, then look for stimulus packages that you're eligible for. I can't lay enough stress on how cash is important, especially at this time. That brings more confidence into the business. But more importantly, stay safe, stay warm, and keep healthy. Your health is most important, and just keep positive. Businesses will get through this together.
Wonderful, Naya. Thank you so much. Well, that was a wonderful presentation and summarised quite a complex amount of information in a very short period of time. There was one question that perhaps we could, just for the sake of Tony who asked it, maybe we could address online there. Maybe just take a quick look at that, Naya, in the chat box. But one of the things I'd also like to draw your attention to is that you can actually ask further questions. Naya's very kindly actually also offered further of her time, complimentary consultation, 30 minutes where you can actually discuss any aspect of what she presented here today or some additional issues particular to their business. Obviously, we can't answer about the 30 or 40 people that are online specific questions, but that's why we've all offered our time, the value of our time. If Naya, do you want to address Tony's question, or perhaps we should encourage Tony to actually spend some time with Naya and lock in for an appointment this week? Would that be okay with you, Tony? Just because we're trying to cover a lot of material here today. We might move along here to Hemi. Now, Hemi, as I mentioned before, he is an international best-selling author of the book Fire Your Boss. He's also a digital marketing expert and very passionate about educating people about the power of digital. Another great tool set that we can use to forge our way from uncertainty to growth. So, Hemi, I'll hand it over to you for your presentation.
Thank you, Gareth, and thank you for everyone to attend this session today. I know this is a crisis time. We all are worried. We all are worried about personally. We all are worried about professionally. We also worried about our business, right? I'm safe. I would say I'm fortunate. I want to say thank you to my God, and thank you to my family that I'm a digital entrepreneur, and I have been working really okay in last couple of weeks from home. So I just thought, why not I actually offer this service to other people just to show how you can actually utilize the power of social media, power of digital entrepreneurship, and also that to grow your business in future. So I'm going to share my screen. So, Gareth and Neha, can you guys see my screen?
Now look, coming to you. Yeah, see it fine and clear, Hemi.
Awesome, fantastic. So as I said, I do a digital entrepreneurship. I'm a digital entrepreneur. So I help businesses to get 30 to 50 high-paying clients every month with social media methods, funnels, advanced business strategies in this crisis. So that's what I do. Thank you again to join with me. I have got a Facebook group. It's called Fire Your Boss, Transform Your Life from Employee to Digital Entrepreneur. And I've got a Facebook page. which is Grow with Hemi. If you get a chance, I would really request you to join my group and join my page, because I come there every night, 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. and give lots of contents, value to my people who are with me in this journey. This is for you if you are a business owner and has impacted by this current crisis. This is for you if you are not getting enough leads in your business because everything is shutting down. You are worried for the future business model and planning to move your business in online, or you personally thinking to move as a digital entrepreneur and want to dominate the digital world. So little bit about me. I have been living in Australia for the last 20 years. My academic background was business and technology, worked in the top executive roles in banking, finance, and the telecom, and started my entrepreneurship journey about 5 years ago. And a couple of things, I was awarded in 2018 the Best Business Award in Victoria by Small Business Victoria, and 2017 I was awarded Young Entrepreneur of the Year in Bangladesh, because I was born in Bangladesh and I came from there. So that's a couple of the award I have achieved. This is something Gareth was mentioning before. This is my book, Fire Your Boss, Transform Your Life from an Employee to Digital Entrepreneur. This book is now #1 international bestseller. When I started this book about 3 years ago, people were thinking that I'm crazy, because everyone was saying that the world is not going to be digital as soon as you are thinking. But look at now, after this coronavirus, what's going to happen to world? Everything is getting locked down, and all over the world, everything is pretty much now shut down. And think about that, even after this coronavirus get fixed, do we still believe that world is going to be exactly what it was before? I don't believe that. I think that people are so worried, even everything get fixed, still I don't think so people will go to actually any gathering in future in next 6 to 9 months or even 1 year. So when I wrote this book, I think that I was crazy, but actually this is not. This is now, as I said, I don't believe on entrepreneurship anymore. I believe on everything has to be digital entrepreneur. Even now we are in the webinar, and that's actually part of the whole digital entrepreneurship as well. So if you get a chance, buy this book. I'll send a link later in here as well. As I said, now I'm a digital entrepreneur, and I'm really fortunate enough. My passion is to teach and help others to develop online strategies so they can grow their business in online. And I have created more than 300 digital entrepreneurs in the last 5 years around the world. So if we go to the next slide, you can see some picture of my, the inner circle team around the world. And I was actually, running this to around not only Australia, around the world, because for me is everything from home. I don't need to go there. I don't need to do anything face to face unless I wanted. So everything is working really well. I've got a couple of my inner circle team member. I can see they're in this webinar as well. So this is actually everything from online. We have been lucky, I would say. We have been very lucky enough that we are in Australia. We are very lucky enough that our health system is much better than many other countries around the world. Our government is so supportive, which Neha mentioned in last 20 minutes, to build our business community, to come back to the business again. And the good news is virus cases drop in Melbourne for last 3 days, which is a good news for all of us, right? But again, we don't know what's going to happen to the next, right? So I would say we are very lucky. A couple of things I want to really share with you. Think about that. The world biggest taxi company, Uber, has no vehicle. The largest accommodation provider owns no real estate, which is Airbnb. The Facebook, the most popular media provider, creates no content at all. The most valuable photo company sells no camera. The fastest growing television network, which is Netflix, has no cables. The most valuable retailer has no inventory, which is Alibaba. And those businesses even didn't exist in the world in about even 10 to 20 years ago. So think about that, where the world was heading to in last few years. And now after this coronavirus, what's going to happen to the world? So that's what I wanted to show in here. Now, what will happen? Say when the coronavirus will completely get away, we don't know. When is our business will come back as normal? Do we think that business will be exactly like before? Do we think our behavior or pattern of lifestyle will be like exactly same as before even 3 weeks ago what it was? I would say The answer is either we don't know or the answer is no. So that's a very straightforward. And look, what can we do now? That's the question. And I think I've been like crazy last 3 years. To be honest, my business had a massive growth in last 3 years. I was getting call. I was like crazy. Everyone was contacting with me and understanding that what can we do now? So I think what we can do, definitely our personal lifestyle need to change. What it was before, we are already habituated this behavior now, and definitely we can keep continue doing that. And from the business perspective, we must move to online. We don't have any other alternative. Think about this, right? If we get locked down in next 3 months, if we get locked down in next 3 months, what will happen to your business? If you cannot continue running your business next 3 months to 6 months, doesn't matter how much money government give us for stimulus package, still we will struggle. And think about after coronavirus get fixed, right? The government will start to take all this money right back, like say that the individual or the business is how long you can sustain. Even after coronavirus get fixed, I think this is our opportunity to move our business into online. So that means when coronavirus get fixed, at least we know that doesn't matter whatever regardless, we can continue doing our business. We should think about this. Buying, selling, marketing, accounting, learning, teaching, doesn't matter. Regardless what you do, everything we can move into online, and that's possible. That's actually possible. So how can I help? That's a question. And many of you are thinking he's talking about all this, but how can I can help you? Definitely I can help you. As I said, I'm a digital strategist. So what I can help you to change your business model right now and bring the business into online and bring the quick cash into your basket, into your account. That's what I can do. I can also work with you to develop the long-term strategy. So when actually the coronavirus get fixed, so your business, all this stimulus package you're utilizing, you can actually utilize that better. Even you don't need so much resource and operational cost if you can convert your business into online. And I can help you to automate the process, lead generation to up to accounting. So that means you can run your business, bringing your leads automatically, convert your business into like a customer, and actually move to your money into accounting system and in your bank. So the whole process can be automated, and you can observe your automation process from your dashboard. So we can do that. I can help you resources to get educated so they understand the power of online. We need to understand that more than 2 billion people are in the Facebook right now. So the business is in Facebook. If we are thinking about the offline marketing, what we used to do, that's not going to happen next 3 to 6 months. So we need to utilize the power of online, how we bring the lead in our business through the online. And at the end, bringing the revenue in your bucket without hassle. So that's what I can help you. Bonuses, right? I just want to get a couple of things I want to share. Did you guys know there is a grant available right now? It's up to $5,000 for investing in online and e-commerce activities, up to $2,000 for training and professional development, and up to $10,000 for capital works project, matching dollar to dollar to adapt in these changing conditions. So the eligibility is your business has to be within the Melbourne municipality. So that's the first, the criteria. So think about that. Like if I go back to the previous slide, even if you are considering move your business into online, you can utilize this $5,000, and I can help you to move your business in online. So you don't need to pay the money from your pocket. And that way also I can work with you, because as I mentioned before, right? I'm in here to support the businesses. I'm a passionate to teach and grow others. So I can actually help you to come up with a payment plan, or come up with a really good plan to work with you as a short term and the long term, and move your business, everything in online. And you can see this is my my study room, and I always work from here. So I have got that opportunity. I'm fortunate that I'm with my family most of the times, and I run the business in online. So this is actually great time. I think the coronavirus has given us so much reflection about life. I think this is our time to move everything into online. So the last, I want to share with you one of my clients' success story. So let's watch a very quick YouTube video. And I think Tanya is in the call as well.
My name is Tanya and I'm a health coach, nutritionist and hypnotherapist. Before I started working with Hemi, I was doing so many different things and offering way too many things for clients and potential clients, and I didn't really have a solid direction or a solid structure for any of them. And I was trying to place ads on social media, didn't really know how to do it, so I wasn't getting any results and I was just wasting away money. And I just had no direction of where I wanted to take anything really in a way that it all fit together and made sense both to me and to my clients. So since I've started working with Hemi, I now have a lot more structure and more direction. I've brought everything together in a way that it's much more structured now. It makes sense to me and my clients. And I'm also learning how to place like social media ads that actually work, so they get the interest of my target market, and my target market is so much more clearer now. And I'm actually getting the results from it as well. So yeah, so that's been my experience so far with Hemi.
So as I said, right, this is our time to think about how we can bring our business in online. As I said, I'm not like a traditional digital marketer. I'm more about a digital strategist because my background in technology, working in the largest organization in Australia. Sorry. So as I said, right, this is our time. I'm in here to support your journey. I'm in here to be part of your business and actually really develop a strategy for short term to bring the cash in and in the long term as well. So yeah, and at the end, I want to say that many of my, that according as my let's say experience, I have seen people always say, yeah, I'll take some action, but they never take. So for me, taking action doesn't really work. It has to be massive, immediate action. If you take the massive immediate action right now in this coronavirus situation, I can tell you your business will sustain even though if coronavirus get fixed. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for joining with us. Anything else, Gareth? So Gareth, we can't hear you.
Gareth, you need to unmute yourself.
No, that's all wonderful, Hemi. Thank you so much. And yeah, the valuable information there, particularly about the business grants that are available. Not only is there Victorian Government support, but there's also more support that you've accessed yourself in your own business to help digitize your strategy online. So there's actually funding and support that is also available there. One of the other kind offers that Hemi made today was actually about a consultation with him to actually help discuss your strategy, your digital strategy, and how you can use the tools that we're using today online, as well as use others that are available to you. It costs you nothing to use many of these tools, and it's just about developing the roadmap forward to guide yourself from the woods through the trees and navigate your way from uncertainty towards growth. I'm going to now try my own hand now at just sharing my screen again. If not, I'm fully prepared to address this last 20 minutes of today's call about commercial agreements and opportunities also that are available to you that cost you nothing and really just about forward-thinking opportunities to limit your liabilities here in these changing times. Now, let me just try one more time and we'll see if this goes. Otherwise, I'm going to provide these to you in our follow-up email. We might even provide all the resources. Have we got that at all? Does that work today? It is working? Yep. Oh, great. Well, then I might just recap there while I've got everyone here, because we really did want to provide this opportunity to actually talk about mindset in accessing all these tool sets. Tool sets minds inform our mindsets, can inform our mindsets if we're using the tools in the right way. With a growth mindset, we can put in the effort to keep going, embrace these challenges, and really turn these challenges into opportunities. We can do this in three ways: by confronting the challenge, seeing the problem as an opportunity, and commit to a pathway of growth. Now, one of the ways that I'd just like to begin this discussion about the legal commercial implications of this incredibly trying time for some people is that we can inform ourselves by simply taking the time to know what opportunities are available to us, can we navigate from uncertainty to growth. Now, one of the ways that I am really passionate about, having also worked in the gig or digital economy for over 10 years, is to actually explore how we are actually going about contracting our employees and even into independent contractors. So I just want to touch on employee agreements. Now, one of the first things that key pieces of advice to consider, and many of you on the call probably have already considered this, is to actually review your employment agreements and obligations. The reason for this is that if you are tempted to see about laying people off, one of the cautionary words of advice I might add is just to consider that carefully. As we heard from Nayyar, there's some great support in the with the JobKeeper payments to actually keep employers in, but it also may offer an opportunity to really look at the way you are actually contracting your employees ongoing. We've heard even today that on Wednesday, Parliament is sitting to push through about 30 years of potential industrial relations reform when it comes to award agreements. That decision is coming down on Wednesday when Parliament sits. So there's going to be new flexibility in existing award arrangements, not only in the way that employees are engaged, but also casual employees as well. One of the things I highly encourage you to do, apart from just considering the alternatives to termination through the JobKeeper payment, is also to consider the apprenticeships as also as a alternative. And one of the reasons that I mention this is it's something I'm highly involved in also as an RMIT law lecturer, and also someone that has a real passion for helping international students. I know that we have a few calls on here today. But what I really wanted to do is canvass the difference between employee and independent contractors. And one of the reasons I want to mention it today is that we are undeniably now in a fourth industrial revolution world. It is a time in which we understand that we will no longer have a job for life. None of us. I mean, today's current situation just makes that so prevalent for all of us. And therefore, for us to actually understand that the wheels of industry are turning, and not always for the bad, there is great opportunities to be had by embracing employment models in this new gig economy. And one of those is the independent contractor agreements. It is regulated, unlike employee agreements, which is regulated by the Fair Work Act. The Independent Contractors Act of 2006 actually offers more flexibility in engaging with employees. One of the key cornerstones of this is the control test. And that actually is really about how much control you as an employer have over your employee. One of my firm suggestions is to actually consider, and apart from laying off, is renegotiating contracts around independent contractor arrangements. The reason being is that for you as an employer, it allows you to keep your skilled workers on and actually engage them in a more limited capacity, which then allows you to ride out this period of time while really maximizing the value they can add to your business during these changing times. And that is something we all are going to have to do. And that's not just Uber drivers. It is for all employment professionals to actually understand that we are going to actually have to become more consultants by nature. Many of us on this call here are already consultants, but it's an opportunity to actually reconsider how you can actually engage with your employees as consultants. Just by taking a look at the way that freelancer.com, Canva, or even Airtasker has all just changed our working world, all in a matter of a couple of years, we can see that the freelancer economy is not new. And it actually offers an opportunity for you as an employer to think creatively and actually adopt this as a model to engage, keep your workforce engaged, but do it in a way that limits your own liabilities. So that's one of the first things that I'd like to suggest today. And that's just in summary there, is to review your obligations, just to understand your obligations under the Fair Work Act with respect to employees, particularly on Wednesday when the new awards are revised and Parliament sits. But then Third, of course, is to take advantage of the government support through the JobKeeper Payment. And fourth is to consider independent contracting, because this is going to be the cornerstone of our working lives here and ongoing, transforming over the next 10 years. Then this next point is really about how you can also limit your liabilities as an employer. I want to just bring up the legal terminology of frustration and contracts. Now, many of you on the call may find contracts frustrating regardless, but actually I wanted to introduce to you this term, because normally under contract law, most of us are under an absolute liability for obligations to be performed under contracts that we sign. This goes from can go from everything from our lease agreements through to our, of course, commercial agreements that you might have supplied with customers or other suppliers. But however, the good news here is that due to the laws of frustration, then basically this may alleviate you of certain obligations during this transitionary period of time. Basically, the law views that a strict application of the doctrine of absolute liability will not take place in all circumstances. And this comes to light through the doctrine of frustration, otherwise known as force majeure. Now, force majeure, or an act of frustration, particularly force majeure, is often classified as an act of God, some intervening event that you have no power or control of. And a pandemic situation, a COVID-19 situation, is certainly in many commercial agreements, which have already, in many agreements already, is just one of the things that you can rely on, not to alleviate you, but to temper obligations or expectations at this period of time. It's one way of not hitting the panic button and actually to look again at the terms in these contracts of your commercial agreements with your suppliers, with your customers even, because you can actually rely on this force majeure or frustration doctrine at this period of time. That doesn't mean that you're completely off the hook though. And that's why when you're in this time of frustration, I recommend 4 key things. We're going to need to negotiate in a time of frustration. Everyone is experiencing this together. And one of the key things in this is to actually communicate with your stakeholders. These are your customers, your suppliers, and your distributors. These are the people that are feeling your pain. To pick up the phone and actually take a human approach and actually suggest to them that we all have a frustrated, we're all in this frustrated situation together. You can rely on these, the fact that your commercial agreements, you can't rely on it. However, an investigation of your agreements will empower you to have these kind of conversations as well, just to make sure that you have security in moving forward in negotiating with all the important people that can still remain in your business. And there's lots of opportunities you can take there. You can negotiate extended terms on the basis of frustration. You can recommend or you can negotiate an amendment to an agreement that given this trying times. And that human approach of picking up the phone, thinking creatively and positively, and actually offering support by way of actually engaging and renegotiating an agreement in sometimes couldn't be the better time for you to do this. It can really put your advantage onto the front foot. Thirdly, of course, is to take advantage of this government support, of which there is a lot there. And fourthly, this is an incredible time to innovate. This is a time we can actually think creatively about our business. Some great success stories in business were actually born out of trying times. Spotify, which you all might be spending a lot of time listening to now that you're at home, is just one idea that was born through the GFC. We're already seeing, for example, today in ABC, where farmers are going around the Coles and Woolworths and selling directly to clients off the land. This is just one very simple example of thinking of delivering your goods and services in a different way. And in some ways, there's no better time to think about this, because at the end of this, you could come up with an alternative business model. And that's what I'm really passionate about. Apart from being a commercial lawyer, I'm also an intellectual property specialist, and I'm passionate about ideas. And ideas are really about an extension of our identity. There is a number of ways that you can actually think ahead about how to protect your ideas. But most importantly, I'm here to encourage you to actually take those ideas, have the conversation, accept the offers that we've made here today, including with me. I'm willing to give you a 60-minute consultation with people to talk about not only their contracts and commercial concerns, but also to talk about their ideas. There could be no better time to actually do this. And with a growth mindset, we can actually empower ourselves to power through these times and actually understand that they are uncertain times, but really embracing the challenge by turning these obstacles into opportunities. We can navigate our way from uncertainty to growth. So thank you very much for your time today. I'm going to drop my link into the feed right now. But if you can all see that screen, Hemi, you can still see that screen, can you? If you can see that screen, we'd just like to make one other offer for you today. And I'm sure that we're also happy to take a few quick questions. But we are looking at running a webinar series. We're also, all of us on the call, Naya, Hemi, and myself, we're all university or vocational lecturers. We all spend a lot of time educating our clients as well as students. And therefore, one of the elephants in the room, if you like, is really how we deal with international students and those that have that might have a temporary visa. We're going to address this in 2 weeks' time. We've got two other really compelling speakers, including Maria Radish, who is a TEDx speaker for Monash and Melbourne University. She has been a TEDx speaker. And of course, TJ Tanjveed Alam from Kangaroo Global, who's in the business of education. We're going to be actually discussing visa issues, opportunities for apprenticeships and alternative work practices for students, because we don't want them to be lost and to be forgotten about in navigating our way from uncertainty to growth. So Naya, Hemi, have you got any other final words that you'd like to share with everyone today?
Okay, before Hemi, I'm sorry, I'm having some issues with my video. So I hope my logo is okay to represent me for the moment. I know some of the people have had some burning questions. Please feel free to book a time, and happy to help you. All I guess my final words would be to keep an eye on everything you can get, as Hemi mentioned as well, that it's not only the federal government and state government that's helping, even the councils are actually sending some emails to the local businesses. So a lot of my clients have actually taken advantage of that. So keep an eye on everything that your local council sends to you. There's a lot of help available. But again, get your bookkeeping, make sure everything is right. I mean, we had one client come in who didn't have 2 years worth of books done, and they didn't even know whether they can take advantage of any of the packages. So keep all that correct, keep all positive, and keep getting through it. We all are here together. Most importantly, stay safe and stay home.
Thanks, Naya. Hemi, have you got some final words that you'd just like to share with everyone before we close off tonight, acknowledging that it's a Sunday evening for everyone?
Yeah, so as I said, right, this is our time, right, to move into online. Trust me, even if it is like coronavirus next, say, 3 months, even after coronavirus, I think we all are changing in terms of our personal, the lifestyle pattern, and we also need to change our business pattern. I've been, like developing this last 2 to 3 years. It really working for me, and I would say other people, everyone who are attending in here, I think this is our time, and we can work together and develop a fantastic model for your business. So if you want to get a time, and if you want to have a chat with me, please set up a time, and I can add value as much as possible for me. I can do that for you. Thank you.
There you go. And look, the last Calendy invite's just gone out, so I'm very happy to be spending time. We're all happy to actually spend that time. We're being really inundated with the people online here today, and we thank you all for attending. But we'll follow up also with some of the resources. And one final note that I'd just like to make, there are some great ways that you can actually access free offers at the moment. I know the Victorian Chamber of Commerce, for example, is offering a free memberships. You can actually log on to their website, and you can actually get up to a $700 a year membership for free. It's a great way of staying connected and a great way to actually help look at the opportunities. We've mentioned many grants and possibilities for funding that are available to you. But most of all, as Naya says, and Hemi as well, to stay positive, stay in a growth mindset, and really look at turning these challenges into opportunities. Thank you so much for being online tonight. It's great to see you. We hope to see you online in 2 weeks' time, the 19th of April, when we'll actually have 4 speakers, and we're actually going to look at education and ways that we can actually offer support to international students and also those that are still developing, which we all are in these changing times. So thanks very much and have a great night.
No, thank you, Gareth.